All right, good. Welcome, Trump, the correspondent dinner bridge. Shout out to Natu and shout out to Nancy in the chat. Good to see you. I'll read the comments during the special. Okay.
Good to see you all. Thanks for joining us.
All right, great. So, what's going on in DC? What happened in DC a few nights ago? A manifesto, a madness, a miracle at the Hilton. Was the president seconds away from a disaster? I'm going to play this video and then we'll come right back to it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The music was still playing too. Anyway, so the visual you were just looking at happened 2 nights ago. Washington is in a state of shock following a violent security breach at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A 31-year-old suspect armed with guns and knives was tackled by Secret Service agents at a checkpoint while President Trump was preparing to speak. The manifesto found on the suspect reviews a targeted hit list of administration officials. Wow, this is crazy. Trump, ever defiant, told reporters he wasn't worried and that the world is simply getting crazier. So this is the third major assault near the president in 2 years. Is this Secret Service wall cracking, or is the political temperature in America reaching a point where no ballroom is safe? Give us the sharp edge news, sir. Or analysis.
Thank you, Ola.
Yeah.
The thing is, this is an event that has become an annual ritual, one that is fashioned to improve relations between professionals of the fourth estate of the realm, that is the media, that is journalists, and minders of the executive arm, right from the president to everyone that is involved in giving expression and executing governmental rules and actions. And this has been the practice since 1968. Now, it affords the opportunity of some moments of self-deprecation, real personal accountability, and understanding that people that are elected into offices and in the line of succession, therefrom or thereto, are seen as not demigods or people that are beyond human frailties and capabilities. And so this year's event was not going to be an exception, other than the fact that for past events, at least the first term of Mr. Donald J. Trump as the President of the United States of America, he never attended any of those. And since he got back into office for a second term, he's never been part of it. So this year, he was going to come, and he had this mindset of coming there to really hit hard on journalists. At least that was the way we all were primed for this opportunity. And so when last Saturday, the individual identified as the one, Mr. Allen, 31 years old, eminently educated, and December 2024 voted by his employers as the Teacher of the Year, now came with a manifesto that is a list of grievances and what he would have envisioned. Generally, he had targeted or had his rantings against several officials of the present government in the United States, not mentioning President Donald J. Trump in person, but he had loads of loathing, denunciations for the administration and some of the specifics he mentioned, which Donald Trump pushed back in the face of a journalist as not being for him that is never a rapist, not a pedophile and all that. But those were discovered as part of the rantings of this individual show. And everybody was ready to have the show that day. About 2,600, that is because some of our Nigerian folks often call to let me know that, oh, you are using American expression. What is 2,600? 2,600 attendees, about 2,000 journalists, 600 other banquet attenders or whatever. So, and then thank God that the whole place had detectors, that is magnetometers or whatever there to really put people at bay. Some element of taunting on the part of this individual, Mr. Allen, who had got on the train all the way from California, rode through Chicago, and then eventually came to Washington, D.C., the Hilton Hotel where the banquet was taking place. And he was taunting. He was expecting every meter barricade, security check and all that. At least the fact that he was pushing that out in real time would also assist those who are given the charge of ensuring the safety of people in government and average citizens, the opportunity of how to firmly secure every inch of American space and every life and property subsequently. Because what the world really have been able to evolve over the years is studying the patterns of assassinations of presidents and the failed attempts. For example, I used to be one of the journalists in Nigeria who would be so impatient about the reality of democracy. Oh, you have put us all together here. Why is Mr. President late? Why was General Sani Abacha always late for state functions? And when one thing that used to be a thing of personal caution for Miola was the fact that I would look at the way General Ramat Murtala Mohammed, Nigeria's military head of state, was killed February 13, 1976. How did that happen? Lowering his guard, not allowing for huge motorcades and entourage and all that. And eventually, when he was killed that sad day, coming from, maybe riding or coming from, I wouldn't know the particular specific, but it was Jumat Day, and he was going to attend Jumat service. So somebody was going to serve God, and he was killed like that. And you look at the killing of a former Egyptian president, I think maybe Sadat, those models, and those who, the killing of JF Kennedy in America and so on, they evolved as models for close study over the years. And so that this person was not able to mess up the joy of journalists who at least were trying to put to scrutiny some officials in government of the day in the United States. Really emphasize one thing, that the Secret Service officials in the United States have not been sleeping on the watch. But some people will say that for him to have even come that close, that signifies something. No, I don't think so. I'm always looking at the way the system is always evolving. Till that time, when we would have a situation where there is zero killing, whether against elected leaders or ordinary folks around the world. Now, one lesson we must learn. People have said, oh, So, what is the essence of this vanity, this kind of um, celebratory flotation, awarding scholarships to student journalists? Um, yes, bringing elected officials under scrutiny and what have you, and then all kinds of individuals and people who even have questionable deals day to day, putting them under the same roof, and then ensuring that not just the president, the vice president, and 12 others in the line of succession, if there is a tragic disruption in government, say that attempt at assassination had succeeded, what would have happened? I think what you and I can do is to always follow the facts, report, analyze, and make constructive suggestions that, okay, people may not be afforded such disturbing convergence at any time at one place, so that there can be continuity of the republic, even if anything. But we pray that nothing untoward would ever happen, whether in America or in Nigeria. Now, one more lesson from this: when things like this happen, President Donald J. Trump behaved in a way that was initially soul lifting, gratifying, by calling for unity, forgetting divisions. But this guy could not stay on that message for too long. He came back accusing the lunatic radical left of all kinds of stuff. We were expecting he would stay on the message that, oh, this is a time for, because us in America.
No.
We all, yes, we all want to be on the same page and make sure that, nothing happens to disturb our pursuit of happiness and guarantee of liberty and what have you. But once he started apportioning blame, it became a divisive character. And then now suggesting that, he would love this to be staged, or this event to hold within the next 30 days. It is beyond his pay grade. This is not his show. It's for, journalists arrange this. And Matthew, we used to have similar events in Nigeria. Lately, I don't know if state house correspondents still do that. But for me, whenever I was representing the Hope newspaper in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and as state house correspondent during the time of Chief David Atta, during General Sani Abacha's time, and later under Mr. Mohammed, I think Aruna, as a chief press secretary to former General Abdusalami Abubakar. It was an occasion that afforded me the opportunity of really seeing all these men of power at close quarters. And as a young journalist in those days, it really rubbed on me that I should always give my best, so that, those were opportunities for me to meet people like well-celebrated journalists like Mr. Riepu, Mr. Oduka Obagbena, Stanley McCable, so many people in those days, And I think sustaining that kind of culture, that kind of event in America would help subsequently to make sure that the media, the press continues to maintain its relevance. One final observation. Not many of us from alternate media, not many of us, hitherto immigrant journalists who have become Americans, often get invited. And we should always be invited. We too are Americans. We too are American journalists. We are part of the main thing. All kinds of media operators, all kinds of journalists, in the name of skin and color, get invited. But some of us are just, and we are not part of the drive-by media. We are by no means on the fringe. We are part of the main action. After all, America belongs to all of us. And whether in joy or sorrow, we remain one. And we hope that people will be saner, people will latch on to the best ideals of existing as citizens of the same world, of the same nation, and drop our prejudices, our bigotry, our hatred. After all, there is no better way. It cannot be through the barrel of the gun, not through the smoking barrel of any gun to effect the change. Yes, let us imbibe the example of that situation in Georgia, where somebody was going to be screwed up by Donald J. Trump in becoming the governor. Subsequently, the lady organized, went into resistance mode, and made sure that Donald Trump was defeated subsequently. It can only be through ballot, not through bullets. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We'll be right back.